Me and my family have moved into a beautiful 4-bedroom house 2 months ago. We have a baby daughter together and we plan on having more children in the future. The area we moved into is amazing, well cared for, upper middle class neighborhood. We straight away made some new friends with our new neighbors, and my new job wasn't so far from a new house. We had gotten a mortgage on the new house, and we both planned on living our whole lives in this neighborhood and in this house. Plans don't always go as they should, unfortunately, and I have got something strange and unusual to say. Have you ever seen a play dollhouse for children where they can open it, play with the doll inside the dollhouse, and just generally have fun with it? I know what it feels like to maybe live in a dollhouse. No, I wasn't shrunk into a tiny person where I could have maybe entered a real life dollhouse, but living in my new home felt exactly like that, unfortunately enough. On my first week living in my new house and going to and from work, everything was running smoothly. My wife was a stay at home mom for our daughter, and she was planning to go back into work when our daughter was a little older. After our first week went by peacefully, I remember in the middle of the night, I couldn't seem to fall asleep. My wife was able to sleep and stay with my daughter, but you know when you are the only person awake at night, so many thoughts are going through your mind. It's the only time where an adult can imagine. Then out of nowhere, like a storm had come to destroy everything away, my roof literally came off and a bright white light coming down at me. I was screaming my head off, but my wife and child were still able to sleep, and they couldn't notice what was happening. As my roof literally came off, I saw a tall hand-like thing, and the color being gray didn't make things less scary, but it was picking at my wife. I tried grabbing a hold of her hand, but I wasn't strong enough. I couldn't even get out of bed for some reason, and then the gray, large, 10-fingered hand put my wife somewhere else in the house, but my wife was still unaware of everything going on and was still asleep. I saw her being picked up and being carried out of our bedroom. Then I could hear it going into my daughter's room, and I tried shouting desperately for any one of my neighbors to do something, but they too were unaware of what was happening. Then the hand picked me up and I tried fighting out of it, but I couldn't. It then took off my clothes and dressed me in my work office uniform and put me in the kitchen. My wife was in the kitchen standing next to the cooker, but still asleep, and my baby daughter was in her sitting chair also asleep. All this happened at 1 a.m. in the morning, but when the hand went away and my roof came back, it was 7 a.m. now, and my wife was making me breakfast, and my daughter was making baby noises. I was ready to go to work. I was freaking out about what had happened, but my wife was completely oblivious to everything that happened that terrifying night. I didn't say anything though, and the next day, at nighttime, I sat downstairs this time in the living room, all alone as I was just waiting, really. Just as when I wanted to fall asleep, I was rudely awakened by all of the walls in my house moving and opening. I saw my wife being carried to the living room sofa, and also my baby daughter was being carried along with her at the same time. I tried shouting at them to wake up and to see what was happening around them, but they couldn't hear or notice anything. This was happening at 11 p.m., and then I was picked up and put into the bathroom, and when the hands went away and everything was back to normal, it was 6:30 a.m. now, and the time seemed to have jumped forwards again, even though it felt like only minutes. These hands, whatever they were doing, opening up my house like a play dollhouse, they seemed to be helping in a weird way. So when it happened again for the third time, I was calm. I didn't fright or get worried when the walls and roof of my house opened up. I also wasn't worried when my baby daughter and wife were being picked up and dressed up. The third time I experienced this, though, the hands took me more to the outside of the house and onto the road. Even my car was picked up, and I was dressed in my work clothes. Although when you worked all day and you may have washed and have deodorant, your clothes may not feel as fresh. And that's how my work uniform felt like. My car was facing towards the house. When the hands went away and everything became normal, it was 3 p.m., and the hands came and opened up my house at 1 a.m. that night. Time had jumped so far, I had finished work and was going home where my wife opened the door, with my baby daughter pleased to see me. I start work at 8:30 a.m. till 3 p.m. All of this felt like minutes, even seconds, but hours had went by when my house was being played like a dollhouse. Whatever was doing this was like a child, and it was enjoying itself, opening our house and using me and my family as the dolls. I actually started to like it for a while, as I was benefiting from it all, and I was just letting it play and letting it do things for us. I started to like being carried around, and I know that sounds lazy, but working and supporting a family is hard work. Then on the second month, when our house opened up again around 1 a.m., my wife was screaming as she too can finally see what was going on. I calmed her down and told her everything was going to be fine, and to just let the beings from another world play with our house. When she got picked up, she was sobbing, and I told her it's going to be fine. She calmed for a while until the beings opening our house had filled up the bathtub and put my wife in the tub full of water. She started to drown because they won't let her out, and I shouted at whatever was doing this to stop as I could hear her struggling from the bathroom. I guess by now, whatever was playing with our house got bored of playing normal family life and wanted some blood and death. My baby daughter was put into a cupboard, and I was put on the cooker with the cookers turned on. When the hands went away, I suffered minor skin burns, and I took my crying baby daughter out of the cupboard. But my wife, she drowned. It was also 10 a.m., and I was late for work, but decided not to go. I remember just staring at my wife's dead body while carrying my daughter. I just wanted some silence to think about what to do next, and to just absorb what I had just experienced. But mercilessly, out of nowhere, my house opened up again, and the things, whatever they are, took my baby from my arms and took her so high up. I tried running up the stairs, but something wouldn't let me, and I could hear my baby daughter just screaming in complete, sheer, shredding fear. What happened next was the most soul-crushing thing any person could experience. My baby daughter was dropped from very high in the air, and she fell hard onto the ground. Then the ground sucked her in. Then when my house seemed normal, I tried to get out, but I sadly came to find out, on top of my hopeless entrapment, there were no doors or windows to get out from anymore, and I started to sob hopelessly, just wondering, what is happening to me? It's been like this ever since, and I am running out of food, and the water is even starting to taste weird. I have been mourning my wife and baby daughter every single day. I cannot get out because those things don't want me out.